What's up? It's Damien with Clean Mud Videos, and today what I want to do is to walk through a studio tour. So I know I told you in my last video I stripped everything down in my recording room or my studio room and redid everything. I had a lot of the old acoustic foam on the walls, which that was a monster trying to get that stuff off of here. Don't use the adhesive. If that's what you have to do, do it, but there's other ways to do it, and I learned from that. I felt like I probably should have done something a little bit different and not glued all of this stuff on the walls, because I didn't think about having to get this stuff off, and it was a beast. But anyway, so I went, stripped all of that stuff out finally, and then I looked up how to make acoustic foams on YouTube. I'm probably not gonna walk through the process that I took to do that unless I get enough people asking, you know, to walk through that process. But anyway, I built my own acoustic foams. I kind of felt good after I did it too. But anyway, yeah, I painted the room. My whole goal was to just give myself a bit of inspiration, because lately I've kind of felt uninspired to do a lot of content. So I went through, and like now when I walk in this room, I'm inspired. Feels good to know that, you know, I walked through and did everything. And before I do the tour, I do want to let you know, like, this is not a thing of me trying to brag. This is not to throw the gear in your face and say, hey, see what I got versus what you have. Because there's a lot of studios that's better than my studio. There's a lot of studios that's not as good as my studio. But the thing is that it's my studio, and for you, it's your studio. So use what you have. Don't think that you have to have the stuff that I have accumulated, because some of the stuff I accumulated out of the mindset of just needing more, in a sense. So if you can understand that, you don't always need more. Sometimes you need to have the more experience. And I think I may have mentioned in one of my other videos, learn to use what you have. And once you use what you have, then you'll know what you need. But sometimes you jump into grabbing new gear before you realize how good your current gear is. You just see other people with these new shiny things, and you think, hey, if I get that new shiny thing, I'm gonna be just like the person with the new shiny thing. And sometimes that's it. You just have something new and shiny, but it's not working for you in the way that you need it to work for you. So yeah, but like I said, with all of my stuff, I didn't make this stuff from making a lot on music, making a lot of money on music. A lot of this was just my hard work for my jobs, whether it was, I used to drive garbage trucks, and I still cut hair currently. So a lot of what I have obtained has come through just my hard work, and then my love for quality things, my love for just really loving music for real. So yeah, so like I said, I don't want to come across as that, you know, I'm throwing stuff in your face or whatever, but, you know, also to show you with the hard work and determination, these are things that you can have, or things that you really don't need. So that's a lot of what my channel is for too, also, is to show you that it doesn't take all of the expensive gear every time. Sometimes it can help, the expensive gear can help, but it doesn't take the expensive gear to get the job done. Also, I wanted to say too, some of the sacrifices that you will have to make is you can't keep up with everybody else. So for me, I'm not really into the shoes. I'm not really into the fashion. I'm not really into a lot of those types of things. A lot of my videos, you may see me in my white t-shirts. You may see me in my gray t-shirts, black t-shirts. Pretty simple. I'm pretty plain. There's not a lot of stuff that I do. I spend a lot of my money and my effort into getting gear and getting things that I just love to do. So sometimes in order to get from one thing to the next, you have to make your sacrifices. And I've made sacrifices on not taking a lot of vacations, not getting caught up in a lot of extra things or whatever that some people may get caught up in. And I'm not saying it's a bad thing. That's just, I don't have a passion for a lot of those other things. I have a passion for music. I have a passion for just being creative. So I like taking my money and spending my money on those things. So sometimes it's just the sacrifices that you have to make. So, but anyway, that's enough rambling on. Let's go ahead and get into this studio tour. All right. Okay, so starting off right here, what I have is my MacBook. I think it's the 14 inch MacBook. So this is the brains of the whole setup now, and I had an iMac originally. And so with the iMac, it was time to upgrade it. I went ahead and upgraded it, and I got this, but I have it running into my monitor, and I forget what type of monitor this is all the way, but I think it's a Dell monitor. I'm not sure what the model is. Let me turn this light down to kind of get some of that light off of it. But this is my Dell monitor, and so it gets the job done with everything that I need. So I'm running everything into my Apollo. So this is the Apollo X6. Man, sorry, I gotta adjust this light. But this is the Apollo X6. And so I run everything into the Apollo X6. And so my sound source, and then I also have the Apollo Twin. So I'm using both of those kind of daisy chain to each other or whatnot to be able to get the most use and a few extra outputs or whatnot so that I can run my outboard gear and all of that or whatnot. So yeah, that. Then let me see, start right here. The Mix Cube is from Avatone, so I use this as a reference speaker. And then my main monitors are the Atom A7X. So I have two of those, the Atom A7X. And then under here, which is a mess, but that's the sub to it, the A10 or something like it, sub 10, something like that. So, okay, the story behind my A7Xs is that when I bought the A7Xs, I bought the A7Xs on sale. Well, it was actually a deal, I think, on Reverb. So I paid maybe $900 to $1,000 brand new at the time. And then with the sub that I got, the way I ended up getting the sub, I found a sub from a guy on Facebook Market, and he said he didn't know anything about music, but he told me, yeah, it works. He said he plugged it in and it came on or whatever, but he said he didn't know too much about it. So he sold it to me for, I think it was $400. So when he sold it to me for $400, he also told me, hey, I'm gonna just be honest with you, I don't know anything about them. So if they don't work, then I would, he said he'd give me half the money back. So when I came home, plugged it in, it didn't work. Well, it worked, but the sub was busted. And so he was like, hey, like as agreed, he gave me half of my money back. And so I ended up paying $200 for the sub. And then I did everything I could try to do to fix the sub. I couldn't fix the sub. I took the centerpiece out and found a company that made the centerpiece, the sub. And I think they charged me maybe $300 for the sub. So I was able to get that. So, but I know this whole setup is like pretty expensive, but I didn't pay the full price for it. So that's the story behind those subs. And so when I'm telling you about me buying gear from like secondhand, I know in one of my older videos I told you about buying gear secondhand. Sometimes it can work out for you, sometimes it doesn't work out for you. But in that case for me, it ended up working out for me. So yeah. And then also with my Genelec monitors, what ended up happening with those was, I think, another deal on Facebook Market. I think the brand new, those things cost about $400 a piece, $300 or $400 a piece if I'm not mistaken. And so he sold me both of them for $400. And so that's how I got those. Like, I probably wouldn't have paid the full price right out of the box for them, because at the time, not saying that they're not worth it, but I just couldn't afford it. So, but the $400 was a whole lot better for me. So that's another tip for you buying gear. A lot of times buy your gear, and if you get it secondhand, buy for prices that, you know, if you did sell, you can also get your money back off of it. So that's a tip. If you get a good deal good enough to make sense, you can try stuff out, and if it doesn't work, you can get your money right back and probably some extra. So if I sold those, I could probably get more than what I paid for them. So anyway, yeah, and while I'm over here looking at it, let's look at these acoustic panels. Okay, let me get some light on them. Okay, so these are my acoustic panels, and as you can see, I don't know what this is, it's a cable. But anyway, I made these acoustic panels. Pretty proud of myself. So let me back up and show you. And then also here's my guitar, my bass guitar. This is from a company called Glary. Let me pull this cable off of it. Called Glary. And honestly, I don't think any of y'all really want to see me on that bass, because I'm a beast with it. Well, not really. I don't play. I told myself that I would play, and I never learned how to play. Okay, so right here on my main desk this is my MPC. This is the MPC Live 2. And so I use this to kind of get beats started. So when I'm at the barbershop and I don't have any appointments or don't have anything to do, or if I just want to come outside of this room, I can take this piece and get beats started. I never finished a beat on that. I just kind of get my ideas and get the beat going, and then I bring it back home and put it on my computer and just use Ableton. And then let me see, let me turn this light down, man, this is killing me. But anyway, these are some of the plugins I use, or some of the apps I use. I use Live, as you can see, and then I use Logic, and then I just started using FL Studio. I'm fronting if I tell you that I've done a lot with FL Studio. I haven't. So anyway, and so also what I use is right here my iPad. So if I'm not using the MPC, sometimes I'm using the iPad, and I don't even know if you can see these apps on here or whatnot. But anyway, these are some of the apps that I use in making my beats. Let me see. Yeah. These are some of the apps that I use in making my beats or whatnot. And so I make beats while I'm at work in my downtime. Okay, so this piece right here is my Tigler audio. This is the cream. This is not the digital version. This is the analog version. So anyway, but I use this for the most part on like my master chain. So when the whole project's done, I take this and put it on there to kind of clean it up, because I do like the audio sound. So I use this as kind of like the outboard mastering thing for myself, mastering chain. But yeah, so the top right here, you have the EQ section, everything at the top, and then everything at the bottom right there is your compression and stuff. So you can put the compressor, you can put the EQ before the compressor, or you can put the compressor in front of the EQ, and it gives a different sound both of those ways or whatnot. So that's that right there. Going over some small stuff right here. Got my little shakers and all of that when I'm feeling inspired to try to do some analog stuff. This right here, Soyuz. So this right here is one of those, kind of like the cloud lifter, but it's different. Let me see. With one hand trying to open this thing up. So this is just like the cloud, but this has more of a vintage sound. Get this thing out of here. So this is what it looks like, just like basically like the cloud lifter. And so it's pretty much you plug it into your mic. So more mics like this SM7B microphone right here, and it gives a little more vintage sound than what your average cloud lifter. So typically when I'm recording, I typically just use the cloud lifter, but if I do want to go for a different sound, more vintage type sound, then I will use, I ain't gonna try to put that in there with one hand, but if I'm going for a more vintage sound, and that's what I use for that anyway, to kind of help with that microphone right there, or any dynamic microphone. Getting into these headphones, these are, I recently did upgrade these because I had the kind that didn't have the detachable cord, but these are let me see if I can focus in on that, Audio-Technica ATH M50X. So that's what these are right here. Those are those headphones, and I use those typically when I'm recording with the microphone and stuff, recording vocals. I use that. I like the long detachable cord and stuff with them. When I'm sitting at my desk, I grab for the old trusty Sennheisers. So these are the 280, I think, HD 280. I don't know, where's it at? Yeah. So these are the HD 280 Pros, and 64 ohm. I think they have a few different versions of these, but I think almost everybody has a pair of these in the studio. So yeah, that's my old trusted. And then recently I added these to the mix, and these are the Bear Dynamic, the 1990 Pros, DT 1990 Pros. And I use these are open back headphones, and I use these for mixing as well. So when I'm getting into my mixing, and then these again, I think maybe are $600 headphones. I ended up getting them for, I want to say like $300, once again off of Facebook Market. And so they were like barely used, and went ahead and tested them out, and I grabbed them. Then going over here, let's go to my 500. I need to get some light over here. I have my Neve 1073, which is right here. My Neve 1073, this is the LB, and that is a nice mic preamp. The one right next to it, the Retro 500, and that is more of a tube-based preamp. And then the one next to it is the Grace Design, and that's real, like a crispy, clean type of sound that you get out of that. And then all the way over here is my RNC, that's the 500, really nice compressor. So this is a compressor that a lot of people like. I think it hits above the price range. I forget exactly how much it is. Also, here's my lava lamp, but it don't look too lava-y. It takes a while for this thing to heat up. So, and also keep me a candle. And then down here, let me move some of these cords out of the way. So down here I have my patch bay. I forget, that's a Samsung patch bay. Right up under it is my MPA Pro, or it's from Art, the company called Art. So that's my preamp or whatever. And then right up under it is, let me get some of these cords out of the way so you can see, the DBX 160A. And this is a compressor. This is one of my compressors that just has kind of that gritty sound. A lot of people use them on drums or whatnot. Under that is my distressor. Distressor is something that I actually love. And then under that is my, I guess, knockoff version of the Teletronics LA2A. But this is from a company called Audioscape, and this is just about as much as I need, and it gives me the sound that I want. And so yeah, I like that. Let me see over here, these panels are a little different than the panels that I had, or the panels that I made. I didn't make these panels. These company, I'm gonna look them up and tell you who they from. I forget, but I bought 4 of those things back when I had my original setup, and I just never used them. But anyway, going above that, that's some of the cables for the patch bay, and then my cable that goes into my MPC. Over here is my other camera. which is that right now I'm filming with the Canon RP, and this is the Canon M50, and got some batteries to it, some of my extra lenses. Going over this side, got a couple of boxes from the old gear, got a couple of the little hanging clouds and stuff that I made, kind of rigged them up. Over here, my hat shelf, and that's my Lawton audio microphone. Going over on this other side, right over top of my guitar, this is just kind of knick-knack stuff, some of my barber stuff and whatnot, a couple of other pieces. And so I always keep my microphones covered up. And so there we go. That's the Lawton audio. That's the Atlantis. I think it's F387, something like that. FC387, Lawton audio. And so yeah, I keep a few microphones, but that's my baby right there. I love that microphone. And then another one of the microphones that I love is my AKG 414. Still got that baby. And like I said, I keep I keep all my mics covered up, but this is one of the big first microphones that I ever had, as far as like quality sounding. So I think this is just kind of special to me. I don't think I'm ever giving this microphone up. And so yeah, that's that. And let's go over here. Got a couple of more pieces laid out. I forgot about my old Marshall amp. I don't even know, I got that somewhere. I don't remember where I got that thing. Got me a other little tripod stand back there. But yeah, going over to this table back here is just a recorder that I got, so hopefully I can get some videos popping. So this is the Zoom H6 that I just purchased, and you need batteries with that, so there's that. It's another one of the microphones, and this is the LA220 by Lawton Audio as well. So like I said, I keep my mics covered up. I'm trying to do all of this stuff with one hand. Here's another microphone, and this is the, let me see, get this in the light. This is the AT2020, so done a few of those comparisons with that. Let me see. Get this mic. I know a lot of y'all seen this microphone before, and this is the CM25. I think I recently got a different one, the newer version of this, but yeah, that's a mic. And any of these mics, the Audio-Technica AT2020, any of those mics would be good enough to do whatever you need to get done. And then also, I know I told a lot of people that I got rid of this mic. I did get rid of this mic, so this is the newer mic that I bought. Bought this on Reverb, and so this is the Neumann 103. I kind of like the Neumann sound, and so I did end up going back and getting this. I got rid of the, the U87, and so I ended up going back and I wanted another Neumann microphone, so I ended up picking up another Neumann microphone. Got this at a really good discount, so that's partially the reason I bought it. I was gonna buy it regardless, but I ended up getting another deal on it, so I ended up purchasing that again, and I've been loving it ever since I've gotten it. And so these are, if you can see, these are the old acoustic panels that I got, and they sitting behind that closet. And so these were kind of my inspiration, because I really don't like those, but they get the job done. Aesthetically, they are not the best. And so that's why I wanted to redo mine, and I may end up redoing these too, but I just have them in the back of the studio. And this closet back here, let me show you. That closet back there, yeah, that's what you don't want to go in, because everything that's not in this studio is in that closet, and that can be kind of dangerous getting in there and getting out of there. So the rest of the studio looks good. This closet is the reason why everything else looks good. So because it's filthy in there. So all in all, that's my studio, that's my setup, and so I will be getting other gear to do reviews or whatnot, and then also just walking you through just the sound of some of the stuff that I have. So if you are interested in hearing what some of those or listening to any of these pieces of gear, let me know some of the combinations that you're considering, and I will go ahead and do reviews or whatnot and give you some samples. I like putting the samples down low so that you can, or putting the samples in the description so that you can really hear what they sound like, getting them to your computer and testing them back, or getting them to your setup and testing them to see what they sound like. So, but other than that, I think that's everything. So that's a wrap for the studio tour. I hope that it's been encouraging to you. I'm sorry for the shaky camera footage. Really didn't plan it all the way out, but just wanted to show you some of the gear and some of the things that I'm working with. So like I said, I hope that it was inspiring to you, and if it's anything that I can do, hit me up. I like answering questions. I like talking to people, whether it's a phone call, whether it's a message on Instagram or whatnot, something that I can help in the description or down in the comments. So anyway, I'm Damien with Clean Mud Videos. I'll catch you in the next video when I'm out. Peace.